on with this application. Um, can I have Ms. Sue Liloy come up, please?
Sure.
And you're already sworn in, so just go ahead and ask a few questions. Ivan?
Yeah, the chairperson had asked me to just state for the record that the Deputy Attorney General who is here has left already for Honolulu with the consent of the applicants. Correct. So the applicants basically operating without her assistance this afternoon, but he is agreeable to that.
Thank you, Ms. Liloy, for coming up. I want to refer to your report. I guess this is your summary, and I just want to make sure that our director and our planning department read all of this. I know you read this word for word pretty much, but I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, and I do just want to clarify what's on the table now. So, Madam Director or Planning Department, do you have any issues with these proposed additional conditions? So, fellow commissioners, I'm referring to this page that were issued today, and it was by Ms. Liloy. It says status report of community meetings, and on the second page, Ms. Liloy has three conditions set in place: condition A, condition B, and condition C. And I believe those are amendments to the original conditions, and that's what is that what you're requesting, to amend the conditions that was given the last meeting?
Yes, for the record, the applicant continues to support those conditions of approval presented by the planning department and approved by planning director. They were revised, I believe, at the November meeting. They had 22 conditions. The three conditions that I proposed here really was a direct result of the community meeting that we held in December. And we've been really listening and trying to figure out a way to begin to bridge some of the community concerns and give them the assurances. So condition A, B, and C was a direct result of that. So in addition to the conditions prepared by staff, we are continuing to offer a few more conditions to help refine this process a little bit more and allow the community to continue to have a voice in this process.
Okay, I'll remind the commissioners, we're looking at this green paper right here. This green paper is the final conditions. And we received this one at the last meeting, or December. So it's green. So the yellow one we're issuing in November when we first read it, and the green one is the one we're looking at right now. And okay, at this time, what we have on the table is we have a we'd like to entertain a motion either to deny or approve this special permit with the amending conditions. So the amending conditions are this green paper. Madam Director?
Just want to make a couple of comments on the proposed additional conditions, specifically on page 2, that says report, and this regarded the 50-foot buffer. If you're talking about a buffer, I think you need to not just have an issue about an occupiable structure, but whether you've got a landscaping buffer. So if you had like a 10-foot landscaping buffer around, so that you basically don't cut down down everything right to the edge of property, because then, you know, you can see all the buildings and stuff. So that you need to keep that, because the condition as written would still allow you to clear cut everything, and you could still put structures, it just wouldn't be occupiable structures, so you would still have barns and other things that would be close to the edge. So, if the intent is to provide a visual buffer, then you need to have some kind of landscaping there. If the intent is just to reduce activity in the area, you know, then that's an entirely different buffer. So I'm just making those comments for the commission's consideration as to what is the intent of the buffer.
And to help the record clarify, it really was to, one, kind of continue an open space. I recognize through the process, land approval process, there's some need for landscaping. The applicant would more than likely continue those landscape buffers. It really was the intent of the applicant, and based on the community feedback, to ensure that some of the noise-making structures, like a classroom, would be as far away from the property line.
So you're talking noise more than anything else in terms of the structure?
Well, it's the intent of the applicant to not put any structure within that 50-foot buffer. We do view, you know, infrastructure, roads, that type of thing as, you know, just that. It's not a structure.
Okay, fellow commissioners, so that's what we have on the table. We have either to entertain a motion to approve or deny the special permit. And what I recommend is we go into executive session. So could I get a motion for that?
You gotta state what the purpose of that would be.
Executive session would be to consult with our corporation counsel on the possible outcomes and legalities of things.
Basically, get legal advice and
Yes.
provide some possible options on this.
There you go.
Before we do, can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead, Commissioner.
I'd like to know that since, or find out before we go into executive session, that since we received, we have now the benefit of public testimony and all the information that has been given, has the planning director recommendation changed?
This is an application that probably gave me and as well as the department a certain amount of hard work. And this is even before we had public testimony. And a lot of it had to do with whether this was an appropriate location for connection school, given the fact that 50% of the students came from Kaumana. But when we step back to look at this and not look at the makeup of the students, which could change over time, so that in fact over time this could be, because at one time it was 100% students from Kaumana. So we had to go back and take a look at, was this a public charter school on state land use agriculture at this particular location, an appropriate application for special use permit. And we basically said that we felt that it met the parameters. I admit that I have significant concerns over traffic, and not the traffic at the intersection of Petita and Kaumana Drive, which the traffic study did not address, is the traffic at the intersection of Pine Cove, Mohoolie Extension, and Kaumana Drive. And this is both from the testimony of the public and the fact that I drive that road every morning to take my two children, my two youngest, to Hilo too high. The traffic, in fact, does back up to Terrace. And if you were to add an additional 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 cars going up Kaumana Drive, dropping students off at the school, and then turning around and going back down Kaumana Drive, what does that do to the timing of that intersection? And I don't know, because I don't have that information. And so I would probably want an additional condition of additional traffic impact analysis work to be done before any final determination by the Land Use Commission were done on this here. Based on the information that was provided and the way that we analyze these, my recommendation is in favor, but it is not without reservations, it is not without great concern. And it's the traffic on Kaumana Drive, not the traffic on Edita, that I'm concerned with, and it's the lower down, because we do have additional subdivisions and additional development coming up along Kaumana Drive. And the study does not really address the cumulative impact of all of that. It did what typically traffic studies is out to do, is when you look at the impact at the specific spots. But the problem is that it all funnels down to that intersection, and I need to have information on what kind of level of service it does, and whether you then have to widen Kaumana Drive at that intersection, whether you've got to adjust the traffic lights, and that becomes a significant cost, and who would do that? And I can't tell that from the TIR. But at this moment, I'm not changing the recommendation.
Okay, Commissioner Moses, is there a question answered? I'm ready to take a motion, go to the executive session?
Chairman,
Yes.
the applicant has also bought the drawings, our traffic engineer who did the study. So if the director needs a bit more information, we're going forward, crafting of a condition related to the look at the intersection. We have the technical expertise here to kind of give an approval of that.
Unless he studied the traffic at Moho'uli, Ainako, and Kaumana, I don't think he has any relevant information to give.
I make a motion that we go into executive session.
Second.
For the
Again,
purpose of data.
This is to consult counsel.
Okay, well, we're gonna take a vote, or you guys just wanna do it all together? All in group? We're gonna take a vote.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The motion before us is to go into executive session to consult counsel. With that, I'll take the roll. Commissioner Moses?
Aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Aye.
Commissioner Ishibashi?
Aye.
Commissioner Ono?
Aye.
And Mr. Chairman.
Aye.
The motion passes 5-0.
Okay, so everybody please outside. Thank you very much, and we'll call everybody in when we're ready. Thank you very much for your time.